This is the Sheeran Looper Plus, and this is the Morningstar MC6 Pro. And together, they actually make quite a formidable team. Now the Sheeran Looper Plus is a 2-track looper, but it has MIDI in. MIDI in by TRS, but also MIDI in by USB. And we can actually make loads of different commands with a MIDI controller. So therefore we've got this, which is the Morningstar MC6 Pro. Now this is one of the best MIDI controllers you can get. The MC6, the MC8, Morningstar are amazing. I've got videos all about these on the channel, go check them out. But what I've done with this one is I've actually changed it over to control this. So actually now, instead of just 2 buttons and the encoder, we've now got an extra 6 buttons. So as you can see here, I've actually just powered it up. So starting with A, we've got change, and this changes from one loop to another if you're in sung or sync mode or any of the 2-track options. Undo, redo the last thing.
Helicopters hover over.
Solo track A, solo track B.
Flying through the harbor, but look at us and she doesn't look back.
Clear all, and then we've got fade.
Bus Castle, you will live again. Bus Castle, you will live again. Bus Castle, you will live again.
Now in order to make this work, we need the Sheeran Looper Plus manual. And there's actually a list of things we can program this up with to tell the looper to do something. It's actually all note numbers, and really simply, you just say this button, do a certain thing on a certain note. And then all you need to do is plug this into the Sheeran Looper via MIDI. So with this, I've got it plugged in by USB right now, so we've got it powered. You actually get one of these in the box, and this is MIDI to TRS MIDI, so 5-pin to normal MIDI, and this goes in right here. So then you need a normal MIDI cable to plug it into the Morningstar, and then it talks to it. Now before you do that, there's a couple of things you need to switch on this by default. So we need to hold down here, and then what we need to do is we need to scroll across until you get to MIDI. Give this a click, and we need to pick the source. So it's off by default. You need to pick 1/8 inch, and we'll give that fine. The other thing as well is the channel is set to Omni, which means it'll pick up any of the 16 MIDI channels. So that's no problem, we can do that there. And then the other one is, we'll ignore clock, it's external control, and it's off by default. You need to switch this on. So once you've plugged this little bad boy into the Looper Plus, you just need a MIDI cable. So a normal MIDI cable from here to plug into the MIDI out of the Morningstar or whatever pedal you're using. Now, the thing is, this is actually sending note information. So it's not CC, it's not PC, it's note information. So for example, if I want to program this one up, this is called change. This is going from track A to track B when you're in a 2-track mode. This is number 77. This is MIDI note number 77. This one is undo redo, and that is MIDI note number 45. I decided to put solo A and solo B on top of each other, and that is MIDI note 67 and 68. A nice big clear with an apostrophe there, and that is MIDI note number 49. And the last one is fade, which is number 34. This opens up the world of possibilities for this because you can just control it by MIDI. Now you don't actually have to use one of these. You can use any MIDI controller that will actually output notes. So it could be a keyboard, or it could be a drum pad. But obviously if you want something at your feet, you're going to want a foot controller. And of course, if you want even more buttons, you could obviously go for something like an MC8, where you've got 8 buttons, or something that's got more, and you've still got your external foot switch there as well. So I hope that gives you some insight as to how you can expand the functionality of this. If you want to see the in-depth review on the Morningstar MC6 Pro that I've done a little while ago, that's this video right here. And if you haven't seen the video on this yet, well, that's this video. Go watch it.